Hi friends, this is Deepa from South Carolina, and we've been talking about informed consent form, which is a mutual understanding between the counselor and the client. It gives the client a detailed explanation of what to be expected and what not to expect during the treatment process. As an example, I've taken up Carolina Family Services of Greenville in South Carolina, that institution's consent form. I was pretty impressed with their infant form because they have given a detailed um, form for the patient to fill out, and it's in different sessions actually. First is the patient information sheet, which contains the address, insurance details, and necessary details of the patient. It goes on to the authorization of disclosure and release of health information, confidentiality and limits of confidentiality, the fees policy, the waiver of fees, if the patient does not turn up, how the fees would be taken up, and all the details of the fees, all the contact information and details of the counselor and institution. That is in actually in a very detailed form, and I was pretty impressed with what they have done. Then they go on to explain the treatment plans, what kind of therapies they offer, what the client needs to expect from them. Also, the payment mode, the fee structure, and how it is done in there. They also explain the Carolina Family Services of Greenville also explains about the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, and the client rights. I think they've done a pretty good job in what details they are given in the form. In comparison with the South Carolina laws, taking a look at it, South Carolina laws or the Code of Ethics of South Carolina goes into a detailed explanation of the definition of different roles of counseling and different labels in which counseling is done. The license requirement, the responsibilities of a counselor, the client confidentiality, the professional disclosure of the counselor. And in comparing these two, I would say the Carolina Family Services failed to mention the relationship boundaries of the counselor and the client, and the treatment termination policies, how it can be terminated, in what cases it can be terminated, and what are the cause and effects of it. And also, there is no reference to any multicultural or religious beliefs information stated in the form. So this is in comparison with the AZA Code of Ethics. So I think that was the only thing that's lacking in the consent form that I mentioned here. The same thing with the South Carolina law also. I was really surprised there's no mention regarding boundary regulations or relationship regulations between the client and the counselor. Also, any multicultural or religious belief boundaries or information um, mentioned in the South Carolina law system. That is all I needed to say, and I was really surprised. Such a big factor, especially the multicultural, is not mentioned there, and termination of treatment policy or counseling sessions is not mentioned there. All right, thank you. Have a blessed day.